So we are here in a K17 club together with, Bullet.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hello. Nice to meet you all.
Hello.
So your names are?
I'm Adam. I play the bass guitar.
And I'm Gustav, the drummer.
And you guys on tour together with Grand Magus, Steel Wings, Skullfist and Thunderboist. Yes. You play the last before Grand Magus. You're sleeping well?
Yeah, I took a nap, food coma and a small nap, and then it's good to go.
Okay. How long you will play?
The set is 45 minutes. And, that's something that we don't decide. It's decided by, I don't know, the tour manager or promoter or whatever. But I think we try to pack like a hit set, like the songs that most people want to hear, that we want to play. And basically we play a lot of old stuff as well, because when we put out a new album this year, some of those songs are gone. So maybe the last time to see like the Rebels return and stuff.
We hope. What do you think about tours with more than 3 bands in the lineup?
This lineup?
Yeah, this lineup are 5 bands. Yeah. I know some packages with 9 bands. What do you think about
9 bands?
Yeah, that was Pagan Fest with Fintroll, Dornreich, Heidevolk and Matisse. Yeah.
But I think I was skeptical because there's a lot of bands, 5 bands, but it works out really good, actually.
What do you think about?
Yeah, I think the same. We thought about it when before we left, like how it's gonna work, and it's gonna be a lot of like troubles and stuff. But it's not. It's working out very good, and the package is like really awesome. It's been all the bands are really good and works out very good.
Yeah. What is the secret to be on tour as a whole guys for a long time?
The secret is to lose your brain at home. Don't think too much.
Why?
Because you will end up feeling bad. No, I mean, just try to have a great time and have fun on stage. And
so that's your experience. Do you remember your first concert you ever played?
Yes, I do.
What was it? Where?
It was on Headbangers. For me, it was on Headbangers Open Air in Germany. But I mean, I wasn't in the band from the beginning. So
I mean, your first concert you ever played in a band, not Bullet.
Oh, dude, that was, I guess, like in school or something.
What kind of band?
It was really experimental. No, dude, I was like 12 years old or something.
Okay. And your band, your first band you ever played in?
I was also in school, like when I started a band when I was like 13 or something with some friends, and we played at some school party or something like that. And I don't know, we had lots of names, but that band eventually turned out to be a band called Talion, which featured Eric as well as guitar player, but that was like many years after. So.
Okay. What is a feeling to be on stage and play your songs for the fans, and as fans singing the song? You look at the fans and they're screaming. I
think all of us in the band, that's a really great experience. Like, especially, I mean, when you go to a city that you've never been before, like we've been to Darmstadt the other day, and we've never been. I don't think we've been there before. No, and you see all these people, who knows the songs, and kind of warms your heart, actually.
And do you recognize the reaction of the fans that we're filming and doing something? Is it difficult to play when you're filming with the cameras, or is it okay for you?
No, I don't think you think a lot about that stuff. You just concentrate on like the songs and the audience, and I don't care about people filming. It's not a problem, you know.
Okay. So
kind of focus on the ones singing along, and you know.
Okay. So what is an important part of a show from Bullet? What is the show about? Is there a special part in there that the fans are waiting for, or what would you say?
I think we're just trying to put up a party like from start to end, and yeah, sometimes we have like, if we play a longer set, we have more things, you know, varying, like, what do you say? Like different things happen during the set. This time it's more like just
Straight on rock.
straight
and roll,
on,
like,
yeah. And I think it's
I
just
mean,
about having a good time, I guess.
Yeah, I think the big thing for us is like delivering a feeling of, you know, just like a party feeling, and
Yeah.
having a good time,
Loosen
feeling
up a little bit,
yeah,
you know?
just
To
having a
forget
good time.
to forget the work and the weekend.
Forget
all
work,
the shit.
forget your boring girlfriend or whatever, you know, just have a good time. We try to bring the party from the backstage to the stage.
And it's more important than ever because the CD sellings are not so good at the moment in all businesses. Would you say that the rock and metal business is the most the better business to sell CDs because the fans want to have it, the vinyls on CDs?
Yeah, I guess so, because heavy metal fans or rock and roll fans, and I mean they are like people that are into the music way more than people listening to Spice Girls or whatever's like popular at the moment, you know. You can like download that stuff or from the internet, but I guess heavy metal fans are more like into having a real album.
Yeah, I think
Looking at
for heavy metal fans, it's more like a complete like lifestyle, and not just like having something to listen to while you're driving or something like that. It's more like you got your bands, you got your festivals, your shows, and like you collect your stuff and you wear the right patches to know which other guy is wearing the same, you know, stuff like that. It's a whole like
more of a lifestyle thing, as you
society,
said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could you remember your first album you ever bought? So what was the wave for the heavy metal to you?
Come again?
The wave to the heavy metal, what was it by to you?
Like getting into metal.
Yes.
For me, I think it actually was getting into the Panthera. Yeah.
Okay.
Like this must be like 93 or something. I don't know. 93, 94.
Okay.
Panthera, you know, Guns N' Roses. That was the bands that I liked back then.
And you?
Yeah, pretty much the same actually. I listened to a lot of rock stuff since I was just like born, I guess. I think my first album was a Guns N' Roses album actually. And then I went like through all different kinds of rock and metal stuff, and then I kind of got back to you know, the old stuff again.
Same here.
I listened to a lot of Rolling Stones when I was a kid, like my dad's albums, and yeah.
And what are your favorite albums now at the moment?
My favorite actually is still Town and Country with Humble Pie. I just started listening to that. It's been my favorite album for like half a year now. It's like almost the only album I listen to at the moment.
I also had like a Humble Pie Small Faces period. Mostly like 70s, like the groovy stuff, you know, that happened back then.
Okay. Some days ago, I talked to some people and told them I'll do an interview with you, and they told me, "Hey, Bullet, sounds like Airbourne." I said, "No, Airbourne sounds like Bullet." So many people don't know that Airbourne is the band who came after you. What do you say? Why is Airbourne so popular and playing so much big shows, and you have to play support shows? It's not bad, meaning.
No, I understand what you mean. I think there's many different elements, you know. First thing, I just want to say that Airbourne is a great band. I always enjoy like listening to the albums, watching their shows. They're a great live band.
We imported their first album before it was released in Sweden, actually, because we got this tip from a friend, and he like bought the CDs from Australia like before it was even released. Nobody heard about it, so yeah, we've been Airbourne fans since the beginning. Yeah.
But then again, I mean, we were stuck on an independent label contract signed. This was like Highway Pirates that was released a year ago. Was the last album on that record label. And I mean, Airbourne put out their record on Roadrunner, I think it was. So there's a big difference there, you know. Roadrunner's got a lot of money to push the band, and that may be one of the elements. But I don't think we think a lot about that stuff, really. I mean, we try to enjoy what's coming to us at the moment, and yeah, you know. But I understand what you mean, the comparison, because the sound is not that. It's really similar sound, but I think we got a bit more of, you know, like saxon to it, like metal to it. But then again, I mean, they're a great band.
I mean, you play support for big bands. I saw you the first time as support for Hammerfall here in Berlin together with Sabaton. I mean, both bands are really big now. Hammerfall before, Sabaton is growing up more and more. And I think you have the chance too, so why not? How important is it to have a label behind you? I mean, your label is now Nuclear Blast. You change it. And how difficult is it for the band for the beginning? Or is it better to start without a label, to start with their own money and own things?
Well, every like rock and roll band or heavy metal band has to start with nothing, you know, from scratch. I don't believe like, yeah, that's the way you got to do it. You got to start from scratch and then work your way up. I think it's like that with most bands. And then, I mean, which label you're on is important because how much experience they got, like, to help you out. Am I on the right track, or?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So I mean, it's easier if you have a big label, but still you gotta know, like, you gotta know your way around.
How difficult was it for Bullet to start in the music business?
How
difficult, yeah.
It was not really that difficult. I think we made one demo tape, and then we got in contact with this record label, and then we started off. So we've been going upwards for 10 years now, but we're taking it slow, you know. We're not like peaking. Yeah. But I don't mind. I mean, you always try to get bigger to reach out to more and more fans, because yeah, that's the whole point, I guess. But I don't mind taking it a little bit slower, you know.
Do you have jobs between music and be private?
We used to have, but now, you know, we don't have to. Not that we're rich, we're not, but yeah, we don't work.
Okay.
One of us does. Eric, he's a welder.
Depends a little bit on, I mean, what kind of life you want back home. If you can live from almost no money if you really want to. And for us, for us, it's always been like the band is what we want to do. We don't want to do anything else. We like all the time we like to spend to, you know, work with the band. So we learned to live from little money.
But you can visit many cities, many towns. Which town or which country you prefer? Is it Germany, or is it Sweden, or is it another country?
I like being in Spain, because the people are very dedicated, and they got such a big it's a big difference in the culture, I think. And but then again, always coming back to Germany is great for us because we have a good audience here and people are into the band and everything works out. You get great food, you get nice people, you meet nice people, and the shows are great. So Germany for me is really good.
What would you say are the difference between Sweden crowd and Germany crowd?
Well, it's a big difference. The Swedish crowd is pretty boring, actually.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, everybody always says, and maybe that's true, that a lot of good bands come from Sweden, but the crowd is not very good, though. I mean,
It's like when we play in Sweden, you play for a more mainstream kind of audience in a way.
Okay.
yeah.
Because that's, yeah, I don't know why it is
It's
like that.
a
But
so much smaller country as well. I mean,
yeah.
I think Germany has like 10 times the population of Sweden.
Do you know
So
how
of
many
course
people is
you-
living here in Germany?
More than 18 million.
80 million.
80 million. So that's
We're 9 million.
Yeah.
So
so
there's
I mean,
a big difference. Like everything is so compact, right? You can travel
And
coast to coast in like 2 hours
Yeah.
by car, by bicycle.
I
No, what I
think
mean.
like in Sweden it seems like everybody still is that are into music are in a band. So it's not many people left, like crowd up and be like
No.
the crowd or what. Maybe maybe it works like that. I don't know, but it seems like in Germany there's so much bigger like.
But is it not easier to play in a small country, in a country with not so most people there, because there are not so many people who have to change the mind of music?
I'm not sure I catched you.
I mean, when you have 9 million people, it's better to play for them the music because there are not too many music styles which the user can change and choose the music.
I think that in Sweden people are really like, I don't know how to put it in English, but you care much more about what's coming from the USA.
Mhm.
You care much more about what's hip at the moment, what's in and what's not in, like that.
Yeah.
Like the trends move a lot faster than they do in Germany, I think. Oh, you may.
I would not agree because
Okay,
we have got
but-
so many sounds here in Germany.
From my point of view, from our point of view, it's like that. Because when we
Because I mean, it seems like in Germany, whatever happens, like whatever trends coming by, you always have like this still dedicated and pretty big like heavy metal fan base, and that lifestyle and that like culture is always there, has always been, and it seems to me like it's always gonna be there, So, and they don't care about the trends, Back home in Sweden, you always have a few friends who's like that too, but then you're in a band with them, and the big crowd is just going for what's on the radio.
Do they play their music in your radios in Sweden? But because in Germany you play metal, maybe most of the internet radios, but not in the FM radios.
Yeah, they play us every now and then, I guess.
yeah.
Not very
Well, that's
often.
another different story. They got like this one commercial radio station for heavy metal, but I mean they play like "Rock You Like a Hurricane" with Scorpions and Offspring.
Yeah,
Uh,
mainstream songs.
Yeah, and it's like for us who are like Scorpion fans, they put out like fucking 35 albums. Play something from Blackout once in a while, or you know what I mean, like Virgin Killer or whatever, But just, they're kind of like, let's start a commercial radio station for heavy metal, and they don't know anything about the music, really, But we get public service in Sweden, like public TV station, public radio station. They play us once in a while.
Yeah, you played some weeks ago here in Berlin together with Crucified Barbara and Gamma Ray. That was September was it? Yeah, some weeks ago. It was a good show because it was from a normally TV show that normally played in German we call it Schlager.
Yeah.
So normally they play not metal, but they grow up with 70,000 of metal. Report now Berlin Live with you. What was it for a feeling to be on a camera for TV?
Yeah, it felt good. It was a big thing. We've done like small TV shows and small radio live shows and stuff like that, but in a very smaller ones. So this was like a very big production. It was pretty cool to
And it was really special because every band plays 3 songs, I heard, and then changing.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
3 stages like this, like, and the crowd was in the middle. It was cool, like kind of a setup, It was like a layout of the whole production was really cool. The thing was that it was this. It was like this old factory. So the roof was like way up, So the sound was just like bouncing around, like that was all you could hear. So it was pretty hard, like getting it right, like the feeling. But eventually, the sound was pretty good when I heard the mix. And I was surprised about how professional they were, like people doing the production. So it was nice.
It was nice to see the picture because 3 stages in 1 room. It's maybe something for the future. That's going faster with for the bands.
I think they had a good like setup of everything.
Do you have some locations which you prefer to play?
The tour kicked off in Munich.
That's a good one.
And that's a good place for us. Backstage Werk in Munich. I like that venue. We've been there 4 times now, and it's always a good crowd, and we met some old friends, and like. And then K17 is great as well. We've been here before one time. Berlin is cool.
We had a really good show at Markthalle yesterday in Hamburg.
Yeah.
That was really good, and we're looking forward very much to Essen at Kalle-Rock Club. That was like I think that was the best gig on our last tour.
Yeah, it was like the high point.
Yeah, so we're really
because Essen is a metal scene really big. Yeah. And what are the locations are in Sweden? Are they big like that one here, 500 people, or bigger?
Depends, which band is playing. I guess you have all sizes of venues, and you have arenas and stuff like when Maiden show up, but also we have quite a lot small, great clubs like in
I think
Sweden.
you usually play in like pubs and stuff actually, and then
Yeah.
they have
There's a lot of pubs as well.
a few like known rock clubs like in Malmö and in Stockholm.
KB in Malmö is like a pretty. That's a really good club, It's like capacity 600, and all the bigger bands come there to play like 600.
Yeah. But then you get like 3 bigger cities in Sweden, so that's pretty much in Malmö, Gothenburg, and Stockholm that are big enough to to pull off a rock club for real. And it's harder for the smaller towns, I guess, to have a rock club with bands coming all the time and to draw an audience every night for the band. So usually it's like pubs and restaurants and stuff like that, and with like the people who work there are into music and do it because they like it.
But if I could promote, I'm allowed to promote a club in Sweden, I really enjoy being to a place called Truck Stop Alaska in Gothenburg, because that's like, that's a real rock and roll bar. That's a real heavy metal bar. So you should check it out if you go to Gothenburg, Truck Stop Alaska.
Is there a special festival in Gothenburg? I mean, Sweden Rock is not in Gothenburg. It's
no, that's down south.
But is there a special place to be there?
Gothenburg's got like this metal town, which is somewhat kind of Wacken, like really commercial festival. It's good, the big bands play there, and we play there as well. And
you played good. Last year in Wacken, right?
Yes. Yeah, this last summer. Yeah.
So
for the first time, it was really nice experience.
It was on a wet stage, right?
Yes, in the tent. Yeah.
Nice stage. I was there with Fararo on Friday.
Okay.
It was great to be on stage doing photos, and it was really cool. And at the same time, Primal Fear on the party stage, and Zephyrum on a true metal stage. That was cool because of just 300 people in the front of the stage.
Yeah.
No screaming. Okay. It was really great. But I think tonight is really different. I think the people are hot. Thunderbird's playing, and you play. Which time was it?
9:45.
9:45, yeah.
Okay. You're looking forward to the show, I think, and
Yeah, absolutely.
enjoy the time here in Berlin. And the last words are for you guys.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for watching, and check out our new album. It will be out on Nuclear Blast this fall, this year. Hopefully, if we make every move right, we'll try to do when we get back home. We'll start recording, and
Okay. Your last words.
No, we're just gonna wake up properly now for a few hours, and then we're gonna do our show, and that's gonna be kick ass.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. I hope.